Choose better. That's a statement that a lot of men have made to a lot of women, and it's been thrown back in their face recently for a couple of reasons. Number one, a lot of women and even some researchers have mentioned that the advice to choose better has probably led to the male loneliness epidemic, where women are not only choosing better, meaning they're only wanting the top men online and sometimes in real life, but they're choosing themselves and saying that they don't see enough benefit in relationships for them to give up their singleness and take on extra domestic labor and an extra person. So women have chosen better. But recently, a woman went viral for posting a selfie as she finished signing her papers in divorce court. And she was sending this selfie to her former mother in law. And the caption on the selfie was, "He's the single mom now. I didn't come into this relationship, this marriage with kids, and I'm leaving the same way that I came in." Now, what's very interesting to me about this is a lot of men will say, if she can't afford the kids, then she needs to give them to the dad. Well, I don't know anything about her financial situation, but she gave the kids to the dad. So they should be happy. And they also say things about child support and how women are getting married just to file for child support and alimony. And first off, alimony only goes to about 10% of marriages or divorces. And that's between men and women. So men do get alimony as well as women get alimony in that 10% of the divorces that get it. So she kind of flipped the script. And what's very interesting to me is I looked at some research, and from 2010 to 2020, the single father rate jumped 1 million, meaning there were 1 million more single fathers at the end of that decade than there were at the beginning of the decade. And at the rate that it's going in the last 5 years, we're going to pass way more than 1 million more single fathers. So what is happening is some women are saying, hey, you thought that you were going to trap me with this baby, with this child. Nope. I'll pay child support. I'll pay alimony. You take the kids. And I don't think that a lot of men ever considered this as a possibility. They like to throw this choose better in women's faces because they assume that it was always going to be the woman, in a sense, stuck with the result of her choices. But they didn't think about them being, quote, stuck with the results of their choices because they felt like they would always have the option to walk away. Society doesn't have the same expectations of men as fathers as it does of women. I made a post recently about how the verb to father a child, literally a man could do that from his grave if he had deposited, his biological specimen prior to his demise. But to mother a child is a very active and involved process. It denotes care and supervision and nurturing and providing for that child's physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual needs. It is a sacrificial role. So our societal expectations of women as mothers and our societal expectations of men as fathers are very different, or at least they have been in the past. So a lot of men probably thought, hey, I can walk away. I don't have to choose better. And now they're stunned, shocked, and amazed that, oh, that's not happening. And also there are some men who were encouraged by podcasters, by the Manosphere, by Red Pill podcasts and books to stick it to the woman by getting the kids. She won't get child support. She won't get alimony. She will have to pay you child support. And this is going to be so beneficial for you because, hey, we know women were going on trips and vacations and buying designer bags and getting their nails and their hair done and, buying new cars and houses with this $300 of child support or $100 of child support that they were getting. That's what men said all the time. So now you're going to be getting this and you're going to be able to do all of these amazing things that she did. But what we're seeing a lot is men all over social media and in real life complaining that I got the kids, I'm the custodial parent, and now she just wants to see them on the weekends. I didn't expect to have to take care of them 5 days a week. I didn't expect to have to cook breakfast and make lunch and make dinner, pack lunches and take them to, recitals and doctor's visits and PTA meetings and extracurricular activities and chaperone their class and stay home when they were sick, and carpool and buy clothes and buy all the toiletries they need and do their hair. And, I didn't expect all this. Why can't she come get them? Why is she not helping me? They didn't understand that they needed to choose better. They didn't understand what it meant to be the custodial parent. They thought the custodial parent was just about getting money, getting child support. They didn't think about the actual custody and the fact that custody means work. It means effort. It means duties and responsibilities and adding to your list of chores that have to be done more laundry, more groceries, more everything, more stress. So I just think that it's interesting how karma works and how people get to see what it's like when the shoe is on the other foot. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this post. And I'd love for you to check out the podcast Zenergy, Zennurgy. You can find it on 25 different streaming platforms. You can also go to Amazon and check out my 5 books on Amazon. This is Zenase, Zenase. That's 2 words. I have a children's book. I have an undated planner. I have a guided journal. I have 2 poetry prose memoirs that are about my personal healing journey. I would love to hear